You guys can probably see things live now. It's kind of a mistake on my part, but that's okay. You can see that I've got the train. And that's sitting on top of my desk. The black clamp is actually where I'm trying to do Lego, but unfortunately it's a 30-foot cable from there. So then I'm going to turn that one off. And yeah, you'll sort of see it in the center. You can see I've got a lot of Lego kits. Weird. One of my kits is actually missing from this picture. So down in this bottom right section, there actually is a kit there with a tower on it. Oh, I know why. I took this picture right before I added the Fluffy's adventure that we've already built on stream. That's why. Okay, so Fluffy's adventure's in that box. Down on the bottom, you can see I've got the chess set, the Lego chess set, and then the left is a bunch of the what you call it, bunch of the advent calendars. I've got 2 advent calendars in there, and actually 3 of them. There's 2 advent calendar strips, and then there's also a plate for some of the parts that came with the cardboard base for last year's advent calendar game. While the game is an interesting idea, it's not that great a quality because, of course, the board itself is the lid of the advent calendar set. Yeah, they didn't give you any storage mechanism for the pieces, so I just grabbed a base plate that I had kicking around. Fantastic Sherlock Fox was smart and at one point just grabbed half a dozen base plates for me from one of the competitors that Lego fits onto. And for a piece like that, I have zero problem with it being a competitor's piece because Lego branded base plates are such a ripoff in cost. Okay, and then the bottom right, just explanatory wise, is at the moment it's a bunch of craft boxes that open up, and they've got at the moment I've got they're designed for thread, like embroidery thread cards, you know, when you wrap around the extras. In any case, but when I was moving things down to the basement, I took a lot of the displays apart. So this has actually got a lot of the minifigs in there that are not currently set up with the other characters. Some of them are sorted by character. Some of them were sorted by set. So if it's a dark arts type theme from the Burrow, I think I've got a lot of those characters in the box as well. And so it's all those dark arts characters from that one stuck together because I've only got the one of them. And so I just put them kind of not in the same slot, but literally like in the same row. Some of these, most of these, I think only one character per slot, just because it fit that way. And then I had to use a double high one for things like Hagrid. You can see I've got part of, in the center here, I've got part of the original release of the Diagon Alley set before the movies. And I don't have the full set. I got gifted this one from an American at the time, contact of Fantastic Sherlock Foxes, who said that, yeah, they would just send it. And I was seriously impressed because I didn't expect them to do that. But I mean, you can't get a whole lot for it if you don't have the complete set. You can get some, but not as much. So because she didn't have Gringotts to go with it, she sent me the part that she did have, which actually have to be my favorite 2 buildings anyways. Yeah, and I've got all the books, so if I can ever get the parts, so like the time, sit down and pull the parts, see what we have, what we don't have, because our house's joint Lego is an absolute mess. But anyway, so all those parts, I actually have all the list and stuff, and I could put it back together. So I hope one day to be able to put the original Gringotts back together. I'm not as big a fan of the modern release of the Diagon Alley set. Some of the stores are okay. Like I do like the Weasley's, Wheezes and so forth, but I still prefer the original slots. But anyways, that's basically it. We've got Privet Drive on the side of the car. Back in here, we're hiding the Monster Book of Monsters, and we've got Hagrid's hut. I'm trying to see what else. Is there anything super notable in there? Nope. Dragons. A dragon. Oh, Hogsmeade is in the center. And then we've got some of the sets up top. So this one on the top right, you can't see very well in the picture at the moment, but that one is the one that, I'm not going to zoom it in just because I don't want to give spoilers, but that one in the top right corner is my connection choice and the way I laid it out for the clock tower that Maribel Jade was building. So yeah. Yeah, this American contact friend of ours would have had to sell the kits or something because she was moving to England on relatively short timeline. But the problem with it is that I'm looking off to the right because my monitors are reversed compared to what you guys are seeing. In any case, she would have had to sell it because she couldn't take all her Lego with her. I mean, that's crazy to ship it. But she shipped it up here because there were some that were incomplete kits. So, yeah. And then I've got another shelf that looks just like this, where I've got about half of it full at the bottom of other random books, and the middle row is all knitting yarn. And then above it, I've got one cubby that's kind of filled with junk at the moment that is supposed to go to another space. It just, the other surface isn't in the room at the moment. And so I've got three and then three again, more cubbies waiting for Lego projects. But this space right now houses Fluffy's Encounter. It's going to move, and Fluffy's Encounter is going to go on the other desk. This slot is where I'm going to put the remaining 2 books. We've got the first 4, so the Transfiguration. I think that one's the Wingardium Leviosa for Ravenclaw. Got Gryffindor's Transfiguration, and then Flitwick for Ravenclaw. We've got a squished version of Hufflepuff in this one, just center right. And then the left is Potions for Slytherin. So the last 2 books, the one that we did today and the other Trelawney's, will go in the remaining cubby. So we've got a whole row of that stuff. Yeah. So that's my Lego desk. I reference it often enough, so I should probably take a new picture and put it up once I've got these put in